Welcome to the Pro Table Tennis video series brought to you by Dynamic Table Tennis Training Systems. This video series incorporates the workouts of Dynamic Table Tennis Training Systems and is meant to improve your core fundamentals in table tennis, like technique, footwork, hand speed, and understanding of spin. These videos are not meant to tear your game down, leaving you feeling confused about what direction to go. These workouts are systematic and will have a positive effect on the athlete. All of the exercises are created by Brian Pace, USATT certified national coach. He has over 20 years of experience as an athlete and coach and has trained and competed in Europe and Asia. These are the very foundational training exercises that Brian used to win 3 collegiate titles, 2 silver medals in doubles at the national championships, as well as coaching several players to national championship titles. With systematic training, proper preparation, and attention to all detail, including recovery, you'll quickly be playing better than ever before. Don't just play table tennis, play dynamic table tennis.
Are you playing the sport of table tennis without the ultimate weapon? Do you know what the ultimate weapon is? Do you feel like your opponents are getting the best of you? Do you want to take your game to the next level? If so, Brian Pace is the person, and the Forehand loop is the weapon you need. Dynamic Table Tennis Training Systems presents the Forehand Loop Training for Table Tennis. This video has over 2 hours and 30 minutes of instructions on just the forehand loop. This is the most extensive video that has ever been created about the sport's most dominating shot. Learn 10 stages of development with over 20 forehand loop concepts and 40 exercises that include stroke production, changing tempo, changing position, implementing footwork, counter looping, looping underspin, attacking serves, serve and attack, and game situations. And a bonus section that includes how to hook the forehand loop, fade the forehand loop, looping against choppers, looping against short pips, and long-distance counter looping. Join Brian Pace as he goes over every single way that the forehand loop can be played, so that you can get the most out of this shot, which is the best attack shot in the sport of table tennis. We sat down with Brian to talk about the Forehand Loop Training for Table Tennis DVD. Here are a few of the questions we asked him. Why did you decide to do this video?
It seems from my coaching career that the forehand loop has kind of been this elusive skill to where it's really hard to learn, but then when you do learn it, there's a real big reward to it. So I wanted to be able to provide something that allowed the player to be able to take themselves through their own stage of development to have this shot. So I decided to create it because it's one of the shots that you could pretty much trump what anybody else does. You can loop a block, you can loop a loop, you can loop a serve, you can loop a smash, you can loop pretty much anything. So having this video is going to help that person with this skill. It's my most dominant skill, so it's been the easiest video for me to do just because it's the shot that defines my game. So I decided to do it for the people that wanted to have their loop as the centerpiece of their game.
Who does this video appeal to?
This video is going to appeal to the person that feels like their loop is a little bit inadequate. Like, the loop is a skill, but there's so many different ways to use it, and this video goes over every single way that you could use this skill. So for the players that loop great off an underspin and not so well off a topspin, there's exercises to help close that gap, and vice versa. And what the person needs to understand that's the most appealing is that from this video, you're going to understand if you just have a structured forehand loop that's going to function in your game, or if you want to centerpiece all your other shots to funnel to your forehand loop. And that's what I think will make this video ultimately, you know, very appealing.
Why is the forehand loop so popular?
Why is the forehand loop so popular? Listen, when you look at the Olympics on TV, you look at all of these events that are put on TV, the loop is the shot that's the most evocative. When these two players have played into extended rallies and they back up, what you see is loop to loop, and it's pretty much the most dominating shot in our sport. And I definitely think that having this shot is like having the slam dunk. It's like having it's almost like having an alley-oop, to where the ball is just sitting there and you just get to put all of your energy into it. So because it defines just how graceful and violent, you know, our sport is. There's some loops that just look fantastic. It's just a perfect soft touch loop, and then other times it's just a absolute just killer, to where whoever got looped on, they should feel dizzy right now. So this is the most popular shot because it has so much range.
Explain the building block system.
I wanted to make sure I created something that was structured. So I created this system to where for every skill that you learn, there's this tier effect to where you learn the first stage of development and it focuses on just a stationary loop from one position, and it just keeps expanding. You expand to all of these different ways that the forehand loop is done, and everyone kind of needs a foundation based on the level of achievement that you're at as far as your ranking. But before you go to the fifth stage of development, you have to really have completed the fourth stage of development, because you're going to need everything that's attached to that fourth stage of development. So I wanted to make sure it was something that was cumulative, or if a person walked into the video and they said, I need the fifth stage, the person can go from A to Z, or a person can come right in and spot check what they want. There's 9 stages of development, and then there's a bonus stage that specifically deals with looping against short pips, looping against long pips, and long distance counter looping. So nothing in this video is not covered.
Why is the forehand loop so important to have?
When I think about my career, or if you look at any big matches at the Olympics or the World Championships or wherever, a great club match at your club, whoever wins that match is using their forehand loop at the end of that match. So it's important to have, because it's such a trump card skill. There's times in my career where I won the match with looping somebody's serve that was a little bit high. It was a loop. There was times in my career where the person made a loop and I counter looped. There was times that I looped the ball to a great position. So almost every high moment in my career that I had a really great result, or I just played fantastic, I was using my forehand loop. And it has so much range compared to the counter drive. I think at some point I did some type of research and I realized that compared to the forehand counter drive, the loop had 19 more inches. So you have so much more table and distance that you can cover with the loop, that it is the most important shot to have.
What can the player expect from this video?
This is more than training video. This is an encyclopedia that deals with one subject. If you just randomly open up the dictionary, look at the word aardvark, they'll tell you one little sentence. But if you look at an encyclopedia, they say aardvark in North America, aardvark in Australia. And I think that that's what this video was created based on. Here's the forehand loop, and here's every possible way you're ever going to use the forehand loop. And if you take a certain aspect of your game, you're going to be able to have it addressed in this video, and it's going to be full circle. And if you want it, you can move that certain aspect up to the next level to where you're pretty much going to feel like you have to cycle back just to do all of this over again. So you can expect to just have this video deal with every single topic when it comes to the forehand loop. Hello, my name is Brian Pace, creator of Dynamic Table Tennis Training Systems, and I created this training system for a broad range of athletes to take themselves from beginner to elite level athlete. Please take my personal invitation to join the Dynamic Table Tennis experience and start achieving the goals you've only dreamed about. Go to www.dynamictabletennis.com and start getting better today.
Forehand loop training for table tennis. Out now. Dynamic Table Tennis Training Systems.